Moshi moshi.
I wonder. I have to wonder if Don Quixote would ever be existing in Persona, or is that just a Yakuza overworld thing?
Uh, might be kind of a Yakuza overworld thing.
Yeah, I don't imagine because I mean Persona doesn't necessarily have a lot of real world references and people, and anytime that they do, I can't even think about. Most of the time, it's the public domain stuff. Like compared to say Yakuza, where you see real world liquor brands, you see real world stores,
Yeah.
albeit some having different names for legally distinct reasons. I don't know.
I mean, if you wanted to see that in a Shin Megami game, you'd want a third Devil Summoner Raito game. Like, that's probably where you would see it.
Yeah, I just think it'd be interesting. I don't know, like what we discussed about a possible Persona 6 in college. Maybe they could like. I wonder if they'd have to invent liquor brand ideas to
Hmm.
put in this to put in it, or if they could do what they did with Yakuza.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like we see anime characters drinking Beefeater gin or something.
Mm. Man, I'm excited. I just. Dude, this brings back so many memories. I'm excited. I'm happy to be back.
That fog, Chie-chan, is what's known as the manly musk. That musk is able to spread throughout this entire dungeon super quickly, causing the shadows to get tilted, as the terminology goes.
It's like
How's
a
my
what?
Teddy?
No, you are not Teddy, dude.
Oh,
But good try. Mm. Mm. I love this level so much.
my goodness, such large yaoi hands.
Mm-hmm. Yosuke.
Hmm.
The nose.
The nose.
That's better than what I did, yeah.
I mean, I have a higher register than you, so.
Yeah. It's because it's so hot, you ain't kidding.
Yeah. I mean, I do agree to some that the sentiment that a lot of games put towards when it comes to LGBT related things is that they kind of make them the butt of a punchline. Does that make sense? Like they make them a punchline sort of joke thing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's primarily because of just the Japanese culture.
Yeah, like
But
for instance, a lot of people point to this really specific scene. Well, a lot of people point to these two like extra characters that appear in Persona 5 that are very obviously gay, and to say that they kind of didn't have a good representation there would be putting it lightly, especially in the original version of 5.
yeah.
Like you have to see the scene for yourself to understand what I'm talking about. Basically video games have a long way to go when it comes to things like that, and
Oh, yeah.
we just hope that we get more characters like Sylvando.
Oh, definitely. But I feel like Kanji was definitely an early example of a step in the right direction.
I guess, like, his shadow obviously is meant to be the flamboyant aspect of his personality or something like that, but Kanji himself, I don't know. I probably am not going to be a good authority about talking about things like this because I'm not in the LGBT community.
Yeah.
But I just hope that they get proper representation and, not be essentially having I just hope representation, they get the stuff they deserve.
Yeah.
You know?
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Because you're a part of the LGBT community, right? Too,
Yes.
right? So I imagine this probably can be just as frustrating to you as it is to everybody else.
Oh, it is. But I think we've come a long way, and I think that's part of why this dungeon has such a happy memory for me, though. Like, it was a time where I felt really seen. Also, it has probably one of the best songs in the game. When we get out of here, we can just vibe to it for a minute.
Yeah, vibe to the dungeon theme.
God, I love the dungeon theme here.
Yeah,
But
I mean, listen, Sega and Atlas know what they're doing with their music.
yes, they do.
Like, the Ishtar boss battle theme in 5, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that one is like... Like, I'm not a rave or dance club dude.
Yeah,
but even
but-
I'd be like, yeah, I'd bop in my head to this.
Yeah, when you hear that song, you know what's up. We'll see if normal attack this. Oh god, no.
Yeah, typically with rare enemies, I tend to go for normal attacks unless I get something super specific. You know,
Yeah.
like with metal slimes.
Well, I mean, with these guys, you know they'll run in like 3 turns if you don't really start damaging them. And you have to
I
use
just try
skills to do that.
I just try to rely on doing critical attacks. Like, either upping my chance of getting criticals or just hoping that the stars align, which happened to a very freakishly high degree for me.
Hmm.
Especially with Yukiko for some reason.
Really?
Like, even though Yukiko's meant to be your fire healer lady, she got a lot of physical critical attacks when I would be going up against these hands.
Hmm.
It's really bizarre. I don't know. And then Chie also got her fair share of crits, but that's because she's Chie.
Yeah, I mean, Chie's literally built to be your glass cannon. Which sucks, because she gets such good high attacks, but using HP and being a glass cannon really sucks. Damn it.
Well, then there's also the matter of those, like, team-up attacks that 2 party members can do, when, I guess, the certain conditions line up. Like, there's this
Just
one
wanna make
attack
sure
in particular that Yukiko and Chie have that...
I haven't tried every element against them. Screw it. I think they resist all elements, though, don't they?
I believe they do.
Yeah.
Like, you really... The biggest hope you have is to get a critical attack with them.
Yeah.
Or, if they don't resist... Or if they don't nullify insta-kill spells, that could be the idea.
Yeah.
But basically, just gun for these things as soon as you can. They're like they're the metal slimes of this
I'm
game.
trying to buff and like it ain't happening. So we'll just.
I just go straight attack and just hope I get a critical. You'd be shocked at how beneficial that has been for me.
I'm gonna try your method here.
Like, before I ever used Metal Slash to kill the metal slimes, I would go for things like multi-hitting attacks or just straight physical attacking, because I'd be like, okay, if I get a crit, I can at least do that because they have so little health. They just have high defense and evasion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just a matter of making sure you get crits and being able to do that properly.
Yeah. Yeah, but I love the drum line here, like, especially when it takes that little space and just goes into, I don't even know what you call that, just bam, bam, bam. Love it.
Yeah. This is perfect DJ music.
God, yes. No, I actually went to a party where I played this before. Like, nerdy, yes. Effective, also yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, let's see if y'all are weak to something.
God, like, when I went back to playing Gold, well, I shouldn't say back, I never played Golden before the Steam release. When I played Golden, though it is an updated re-release of Persona 4, it really made me glad for the gameplay improvements they made in Persona 5.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the time period between the two games as well. Like,
Yeah,
you can
not to,
see how much they've learned since they made Persona 4.
yeah, not to mention all the delays in causing continuous like development stuff.
Yeah.
Again, when you play Persona 5 yourself, you will feel the gameplay improvements and be like, "Oh my god, there are just certain games that will feel completely alien to go back to in the same series."
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, if you play Persona 1, 2, hell, even 3, Persona 4 is a different animal. I can only imagine
Yeah.
how different Persona 5 is. Because
Yeah.
really, the Persona people know didn't happen till 3. Like,
Think of well, here's an example for you, Jordan. So say you hit an enemy with an attack that they're weak to, so like a hitting move, weakening this, or I think this one's weak to ice, right?
no,
No.
it seems to resist all elements.
Even lightning?
Yeah, I hit it with all elements I currently have.
All right, well, excuse me. Say say you hit it with an attack it's weak to and it's downed but not dead. In 4, you're just giving that same party member another chance to attack. And in 5, you have that chance, but what you also get is the ability to hit a button and then follow up to give a party member another turn where their attack is increased, and you can then chain that to other party members if you hit the weakness multiple times to other enemies. So it's like, essentially you just get one extended turn from each party member if you manage to knock one enemy down, and then another, just dominoing your enemies.
That's actually really cool.
It's really satisfying to pull off.
There we go. Weak to fire. I've always liked the design for these cop enemies. Like, it's still fairly low poly, but I love them.
I have to wonder if they'll continue with the demon negotiation in 6, because
I would hope so.
it was nice to see in 5, and it made at least a good reason why you would be gathering personas the way you are instead of just playing a card game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in 1 and 2, negotiation was there. Because
Yeah.
they were essentially just a continuation of If.
Yeah.
Um,
But then in games like 3 and 4, you were given card games and stuff to
Yeah.
earn your personas with, and it's like, that's not bad. That has its benefits. You don't have to deal with the weird logic of picking the right answers for shadows and
Yeah.
stuff. But admittedly, it feels more organic to negotiate with demons to get them on your side.
oh, definitely.
But again, every Persona game has its benefits, and a lot of people can and have argued about which of the games they would say is the best in the series, but
Yeah.
that's again getting into the Atlas discourse that we've talked about before, and others have likely talked about to a greater extent and a more researched extent.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of it comes down to personal opinion, too, because if you're like me and you really love hardcore number crunching JRPGs, then you're probably going to be more down for the first 3 Personas, I think, than the last 2 that have come out. But if you're really big into, like, story and roleplay and stuff, well, guess what? The last 2 probably have more for you.
Basically, Pathfinder versus D&D 5e.
Yeah.
Because my Pathfinder game group, I've asked them about the prospect of doing a 5e campaign, and they are just not in the idea because 5 is too simple for their tastes. And a lot of others also argue the matter of, like, we don't like the fact that they just kind of babyfied the mechanics and the stats and all that in favor of, like, making it more story heavy. But
Yeah.
it's the story heaviness and the simplification that's caused it to get popular.
Mhm.
No thanks to things like
Yeah,
Critical
it's-
Role.
it's expanded the game to a broader audience who may not have been able to get into the system when we had THACO.
Yeah, or I mean, I could show someone a Pathfinder character sheet and they'd probably recoil like I showed a crucifix to a demon or something.
Yeah, which me, I like the more complexity of, say, third edition Pathfinder and that
Warhammer.
style. Oh yeah, no, I love Warhammer, but again, Warhammer's not necessarily a role playing game, although there are role playing games in the Warhammer series.
Yeah,
People
and
get
not to
in there
mention,
for the tabletop battles.
not to mention, you know, Warhammer is the most expensive tabletop game you ever would have to invest in your life.
Unless you're playing,
The most expensive, Jordan.
it really isn't.
It Jordan, I've heard stories.
Look, I've been in Warhammer for 3 years now, and if you just go in blind, oh yeah, you're gonna definitely throw your wallet and your life savings at it, no doubt. But you can play for about $50 if you have friends who are willing to help you learn what to do and you're not playing in an official store. Only reason I say that is, look, you can get all the rules for your faction online. So do that. Buy a single box of just whatever model you like, think looks cool, whether that's demons or some faction like the Tau. Uh, and then play skirmish style games where you only need like 400 to 500 points in an army, and that's usually what one box is. So yeah, you're not going to have big battles with anyone, and you're not going to be in a whole campaign, but you can get a feel for the game and just start playing for about maybe 50, $60. If you want the official rule book and you want like faction stats and spreadsheets and stuff that comes in the I got my Death Guard book behind me. I want to say compendium. I know it's not called that, but essentially like my Death Guard book was $60. So that's everything I need to know about my faction in this build of the game until they release a new edition, which is every like 2 to 3 years. So I consider it like a online subscription. You play an MMO, you pay a subscription when a new version comes out. Essentially, you get the updated rules for your class and everything you've been building into. Your models are just your class. You pick what you like, play around with it. If you want to spend a lot of money, you can and buy the fancy resin models for 200 a single vehicle. But you don't have to. And if you got someone with a 3D printer or you like being a tinkerer, the game can be model, I forget what the word is, but like it doesn't matter what model you have on the table so long as like we both agree like, okay, that's a repulsor tank, and you have a similar size. That way when you pull out your measuring tape, the measurements aren't thrown off and you're not cheating, because I'm not going to shoot at a target half the size of a repulsor tank with the same range and stat line. That just gives you way too much defense.
Yeah, all that just flew over my head.
Mm-hmm.
Me just go. I like play game where half-orc barbarian lady try to claim.
I mean, I like that too, and I've actually made a whole headcanon for how female orcs can exist in Warhammer, and honestly, that's one of the most fun things I did with Amanda in ages.
Well, either way, yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is discourse exists in any community. I'm just saying that the comparisons that I'm making here are kind of evident in like people like the old system because it's more stats and mechanics based.
Yeah.
Rather than more story focused and actually role playing in a role playing game.
Yeah. Screw it. I need the experience.
Not to mention that there are other tabletop systems that I've been interested in. One called Blackbirds on Kickstarter. There's, I think, like other expansions now coming out to D&D 5e. Like, apparently they're letting you go into space. Like,
Yeah,
Treasure
I
Planet,
saw the freaking commercial for that. That looks insane.
like Treasure Planet style spaceships and everything. And I'm like, huh. I don't know how to feel about that. Yeah, I just think that it'd be nice to at least have the older games to access on modern platforms to at least
Yeah.
compare and contrast the
No,
gameplays
exactly.
of each.
And that's where I really come down to being like, yo, emulation. It's
Right,
so
and
important for that
like that's
reason
what
to make it
it's a
accessible.
last resort. It's a last resort for certain, but it's a last resort that's becoming kind of the only resort for people to try a lot of older games when a lot of the older hardware is dying because certain countries don't exactly have very good senses of preservation with old hardware.
Yeah.
Like for instance, in Japan, there are straight up department stores that sell games and everything that can sell retro consoles like SNESs, NESs, and so forth that look basically straight out of factory new.
Yeah.
Like they are very good about preserving old hardware over there. But in America,
Yeah, we
not
got
not
some
the
mom and
case.
pops that do it, but even then, the price is going to be high because there's not a lot of demand and there's not a lot of supply.
Yeah.
So,
Or the demand is high but the supply is low.
exactly. Because also, people don't take care of their shit in this country. I'm just going to say it.
No, they
Like,
don't. Like picture for instance somebody using soap to try and clean a scratch out of a PS2 game, and it's like I just tried to clean it, it didn't work, and it's like because
duh.
you tried to use fucking Dove for Men.
Pretty
Dove Men
much.
Plus Care isn't gonna care for your fucking PS2 games, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
My Xbox 360's got some kind of red ring around it, so I tried like putting salt tablets on it, and it didn't do anything.
Yeah. Ugh. Where, that's actually one of the first times I had to learn how to take a system apart and fix it. Like, I probably wouldn't have been able to build a gaming PC if it wasn't for the red ring of death.
Yeah, meanwhile, I just didn't have an Xbox 360. I never owned an Xbox console.
Yeah.
Literally, the closest thing I have to Xbox hardware is my controller I use for PC games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely understand the prospect of like wanting to learn
Oh,
to
no,
take
you
apart
don't.
things.
Come here.
Get it, get it, get it, get it.
Come here.
Get it,
Oh,
get
my
it.
God. Clip through
They
the
can go
door.
through doors.
Go, 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 go.
You fuck. Mm. Why can't I
wish I knew-
sprint?
I wish I wish I knew the lyrics to like one of those songs that would play during a Scooby-Doo chase scene,
Yeah,
because that was a Scooby-Doo moment.
it really was. I'm trying your method here.
Okay, I say it worked for me because I have a very strange level of luck with RPGs. So I don't know if it'll work with you, but we'll see.
I might need to actually upgrade my luck if I get some of those cards, because that is a stat I can try to play.
Oh, I've never had to upgrade my luck. I just let it level up and everything like normal. As I said, I'm just weird.
Damn it.
I told you, I'm weird.
Yeah. No, so at least this is free. Like, it doesn't cost you a move.
Right.
Also,
I mean, I don't
I
think
love this dolphin. Like, that's a
I
cool
do
looking
also
design.
miss, like, admittedly, having the Persona things become the shadows themselves for demon negotiations are nice in 5, but I do miss these more original enemy designs.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, Persona is its own series, so I actually really like the idea of, like, shadows being their own thing. So that's one area where I'm like, I kind of enjoy the card system.
Or maybe in a future game it could be they start off as these forms and turn into the demons and when you recruit them.
Like, I would enjoy that. That would be pretty cool.
Like they'd have a design that's set to a specific arcana. So like say, oh, this dolphin looking thing is
Oh, it reflects ice.
from like the chariot arcana, let's just say. And when you recruit it, it then randomly becomes one of the Chariot Arcana personas you get with within a certain level limit, of course.
Yeah, because you can't recruit anything that's a higher level than you.
Yeah. So I don't know.
That's a rule that should stay consistent, I imagine.
I just think that'd be a neat idea.
Oh yeah.
Because then there's also this random chance factor of like, okay, do you end up with a new persona, or do you end up with the same Chariot persona you got before?
Yeah.
I smell four enemies. Show them your stuff.
Or Yukiko just keeps getting confused.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's not a high enough level to dodge anything yet.
But yeah, so if this were 5, Yosuke would be able to pass a turn along to a different party member, so then you could hit one of the cherubs with their weakness, and if you hit that, then you can pass it on to someone like Chie, and she'd have like doubled attack, like double stats for attack.
Yeah.
So so that's essentially what the Persona 5 pass on mechanic is like. It's insane.
That does sound pretty cool.
There are so many companies that I want to see their next game from, like so badly. Like Persona 6, obviously, for one, because a lot of people are seeing the Persona 25th anniversary thing, and they're like, "Come on, Atlas, better not announce a fucking pachinko machine.
Mm-hmm.
If you announce a pachinko machine, we will pee on your pachinko. Put the pee in pachinko."
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's popular in Japan. Like, I get it. It's gonna make money.
I know, but still.
Yeah, I mean, like, if we had more places to gamble than Vegas for the most part in this country, you'd think companies wouldn't be making more slot machines.
Yeah. But in any case, there is that. But I'm also looking forward to Supergiant's next game. I've been on a major kick of listening to Supergiant Games' music lately.
Yeah.
Because they make phenomenal soundtracks. So I just think like, man, what are they up to? What are they doing next? I want to know.
Yeah.
Because Hades is their most popular game. I'm just That ghoul looks like he's kind of giving you the bedroom eyes of like,
Oh, what? My booty? My bubble butt? You mean this firm ass with caked up cheeks? What's wrong, protagonist? Could you perhaps be craving my cakes?
Oh yeah. No, this is honestly the perfect level to find that. Like, yes. Get that crusty old ghoul booty over here. Gonna hit it like Fallout.
I mean, there is a Fallout ghoul you can. Actually, is there?
I think so.
There's one in New Vegas you can talk to like that.
Yeah. I think these guys are weak to ice. Yeah, it's ice. Okay. Okay, so you don't pass in this game.
No, you don't. Like, it would be nice, but this game is older.
Yeah, no, I just had to think for a second. Nice.
You know, if only you could have saved that for the Golden Hand.
Well, there's no, like, Magatsui gauge where you can, unleash guaranteed criticals whenever you want.
That is kind of a nice thing.
Dude, like, that's a theme I have seen now with the 5th SMT. Everyone's like, why the hell did they include any other Magatsui skills? The first one they give you is just way too OP.
Probably because the others do have their benefits to some extent. Like, having a big full party heal or a massive almighty attack that doesn't have any... Like, no enemy resists almighty attacks, so having one that would say, do 1,000 damage when everybody else is at low health... I don't know.
Yeah, because like
Ver-
some of them are really good skills and they have uses, but
Constant crits is also good.
especially since a crit guarantees another turn.
Yeah, and if you have multi-hit attacks and you crit multi-hit attacks whilst you're beefed up, it's just like it's like you're putting haste on a barbarian that has some kind of you're putting haste on a barbarian that's been rolling nat 20 hits all night.
Yeah. And
It's
then
just like
not only that, but since it also gives you crits on items, that means
wait,
even
items
if
have crits?
yeah. So, okay, if you use say a force gem. Well, I have +0 in force, but the boss is weak against it. If it's guaranteed crit because I use the Magatsui skill, that now counts as a critical weak attack.
Ah,
So I can essentially double and triple damage and turns anytime I use that skill and give everyone in the party a turn using something the boss is weak against, even if none of them have the skill.
did you have what was a boss you would say had that gave you the biggest problem?
Honestly, Odin. Or if
I have
not,
not
Odin, it was.
Okay, so for reference for you, I don't know the later bosses because I haven't gotten to those places, but the furthest boss that I've gotten is beating that one Demon King guy with the mouth in his stomach.
Yeah, he's
So
not bad.
So most difficult boss up to that point, which one would you say?
Up until that point, if you counted DLC, I would say.
LP.
Yeah, DLC. I would say it was actually probably the White Rider. I think you fight the White Rider before you get there.
I've not seen the White Rider.
Yeah, so if you have the SMT3 Nocturne DLC, you can fight all of the fiends through the game.
Oh.
So they actually appear at their original level with their original move sets, have a remix of the Fiend theme from the third game. Like I just beat Mother Harlot after I beat Odin, and I'd say she was probably a better fight, but like of the three end game bosses before you get to like Metatron and the actual end game, I would say hardest boss. Trying to just remember all the bosses because the first one's Hydra, and that one wasn't too challenging because as soon as you figure him out, like you might die once, but you're not going to die again.
I'd say the hardest for me were the demon guy with the mouth on his stomach and Cert.
Cert was kind of difficult, but I already had fire resistance on my hero, and I had
didn't
plenty
have that
of
in my
ice
build.
users, so I just
I didn't
powered
have
through
that in
him.
my build. I didn't have ice users as super prevalent in my party, so I guess that was kind of asking for trouble.
No, don't need to send SOS. What the?
Did you mean to hit the pause button?
No, I meant to look for the map. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure because there's that area I missed over there where it was, so I could.
Oh, that's the other thing. Persona
Backtrack.
5 doesn't have random generated maps.
That kind of sucks, but also I
Like
appreciate it.
they're all pre-made layouts, just full-on crafted dungeons. So there you go. That's the other thing. Like I can understand like the randomness is nice, but also it can lead to some frustrating moments of being a bit confused on which direction you went, which I mean, obviously that's what a map button's for, but
Yeah.
again, different strokes.
Yeah, no, I can completely appreciate that. I think it's cool to have a well-designed dungeon. Like, I know we keep going back to SMT5, but we've both been playing it recently. Design dungeons are nice when they happen, like where that demon dude with the belly mouth appears. I love that dungeon. It was actually really cool having a platforming puzzle.
Admittedly, the gust of winds movement, I was getting a little disoriented trying to figure out where I was going.
You and a lot of other people. Like, I figured it out pretty quick, but I admit that last
camera-
jump at first had me a bit thrown.
The camera kept moving around too much, and I'm just like, hold on, what? I feel like I just went through a Portal playthrough. Where am I?
Yeah, that was a bit of my issue too. But then I was like, well, if I just study where it's going to fling me ahead of time, and I was like, oh, wait, so if I let that one fling me into this one, just time it so I avoid that one, I'll go to that ledge over there.
Right.
Because if I keep doing
got
this
that
one, I have to
too.
do the
It's
whole
just-
loop
I got
again.
that too. It's just sadly the camera kept moving around so much on me that I just didn't.
Yeah, for
Like,
the most
sometimes
part, I
I-
haven't had too many camera issues. But, I don't know. Maybe that's just me getting lucky with cameras.
Maybe.
Like, this game, if anything, has a more annoying camera to me than SMT5. God, I love this music.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
this
nice.
is just one of my favorite stages. Okay, well, we're all at full health.
I forget what floor is the last one in this dungeon.
It's gonna be a little higher up. I remember that
Yeah.
much.
Imagine a bathhouse with multiple levels like this.
I mean, they got some in Houston,
Imagine bathhouses.
but not like this, you know, not Japanese style.
Imagine bathhouses though.
I mean, they do exist in this country, man.
Kanji!
Hey, hey.
At last I have penetrated the facility. These images are coming to you live from inside this steam paradise.
I love him so much.
To have any charming encounters.
I'm getting like
Fog be the cause. It's like steam rising from sweat. My body's tingling with excitement.
did Troy Baker voice him in Golden 2 or did they replace him?
Wait, who replaced who?
So you know Chie, actress in Persona 4 original got replaced for Golden, right?
I didn't, actually.
Really?
No, I didn't know that.
You should listen to her voice in OG Persona 4.
I mean, I got my PS2 right here. I might have to just plug it in later.
Wait, you have Persona 4 like OG?
Yeah, with the soundtrack CD and everything. Like, that's how I played the game originally.
Huh. I didn't know you had the original. Oh, okay then.
Yeah, like, when I say I played Persona 4 in middle school, I mean, I played Persona 4 in middle school.
Yeah, the way I played it was the way I played Persona 4 OG was through the PS3 emulation thing because it had it on the, deal. It had it on the PlayStation Store, and I could play it through that.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I didn't have a PS3 or a PS4, so the only way I had access to the game until I learned how to really do emulation on PC was to actually play the original game on my PlayStation.
Okay. Oh, it's Sam Riegel that voices Teddy. Oh, that's cool. But yeah, it is Troy Baker that still voices Kanji. I knew he voiced him in the OG PS2 version. I just didn't know if they replaced him in Golden. But yeah, Chie. Her current voice is Aaron Fitzgerald.
I love it. He's so sweet, and then he just goes, "Damn it!"
His other self, it's trying to reveal his hidden feelings. It seems much worse than that time with Yuki-chan's shadow. At this rate, it might end up getting bare naked.
Teddy and his puns.
Oh man, here it comes.
Okay.
Was I supposed to laugh?
Yes. Okay, so Persona 4
I
original,
love you, Teddy.
the 2008 version, Kanji is Troy Baker is Kanji. Oh, they replaced Teddy's voice actor for Golden.
Really?
Teddy's original voice was Dave Wittenberg,
Hmm.
whom, let's see. What else has he been in?
Honestly, I would not mind if they switched back to first-person dungeon crawling for this game. Like, every time I go through a doorway and that happens, I'm just like, you know...
Oh, when a shadow jumps you at the other end of a door, that is pretty annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, so Teddy's OG voice actor is like the voice for Kakashi in Naruto.
Huh.
He voiced Time Baby in Gravity Falls. I just find it interesting to look up voice actor stuff.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Let me handle this.
Let's see.
It's down. Shoot it.
So, okay, like, there's kind of an assist system where, like, you're not really passing your turn to someone, but if you have a good enough affinity with them, they'll take an extra turn.
Yeah. Where, like, essentially, in 5, they straight up just let you have the option to, instead of it just being random,
Yeah.
with based on affinity.
Up we go. 3 enemies left.
Couldn't do it.
Don't give up, Yosuke.
Dang.
He voiced Number Zero in the Codename Kids Next Door movie.
Huh.
Awesome. Chie-chan's in
Oh, he was the voice of the helicopter in Dead Rising.
Huh.
And he voiced one of the white-haired villain guys in Advent Children.
Advent Children's kind of an underrated gem.
Yeah. He. Let's see. He also voiced Ponygon in Zatch Bell.
Hmm. Another series I would like to get a reboot. All you kids with your Hunter x Hunters, whatever happened to the good old days of Bleach and Zatch Bell?
Hunter x Hunter is the most superior, and I'm sad that chapters have kind of stagnated. It's
Yeah.
making me very scared. It's making me very scared. Let's see.
I smell 4 enemies. Show them your
He's voiced a lot of characters in Digimon Frontiers.
Chie-chan's all confused. That's it, Yosuke. Enemy down.
But yeah, I didn't know that you didn't know that. I had no idea that you didn't know that that they replaced voice actors in Golden.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
All right, so Chie's original actress was Tracy Rooney, who's only voiced Chie. That's her only voice credit as far as I see. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
like,
that's kind of cool. If you use an item, everyone gets it.
Hang in there.
That's real nice.
So persistent.
It got back up.
let's see.
Beat it. No one stands in
She's done a lot of film and television stuff, but it looks like she doesn't do much voiceovers things. So Chie's her only real voice acting credit.
Hmm.
Huh.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like I don't like I'm looking at her website right now and I'm not even seeing it listed.
Screw it. Might get.
Okay then. Well, yeah, that's Chie's actress. Yeah.
Will definitely occur after the next battle.
And of course, Igor's had the same actor in English. Rest in peace to the Japanese voice actor.
Some cards you already have and negative effect cards will transform into different cards. Oh.
But yeah, I didn't realize that they replaced Teddy as well. I thought they just replaced Chie.
Yeah.
You were a Arcana in Persona. Which one would you say you'd be? Like, I don't know what you know about all that stuff, but
I mean, I've
curious.
tried to learn a bit about tarot, but I would probably be more of a chariot, I think.
I'd say you as Strength or Chariot.
Yeah. I'm about to say, if I lose that guy because I had to open that chest, whew.
Yeah. The rare Personas in 5 aren't that obnoxious.
Two enemies left.
So persistent. Hey, it's tough.
But yeah, I did get lucky enough for Chie to do the galactic punt on one of these things.
Nice.
There you go. Now try to attack the other one.
Okay.
Couldn't do it.
Dang it.
Alright, well now you can attempt to get that one down again, or just do what you can. Like, typically I try to just see if I can get crit hits on both, and if it fails, then oh well, you know, no big loss.
Yeah. That's the only thing I don't like about some of Chia's equipment. It lowers her hit rate. So now I'm not going to hit as much.
Well, I mean, you know about the whole selling
Couldn't do it.
monster items to the blacksmith in town, right?
Oh, yeah.
Then hopefully you'll find something that'll be good for her.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Chie-chan, this isn't good. The enemy ran away. Up we go.
Thank you, Yosuke.
One enemy. Fight, fight, fight.
Persistent.
Yeah. These fights are some of the worst.
Yeah, they
like, they're
can be.
great if you win, but dang.
It's an exercise in patience if you try to grind those out specifically.
Yeah, and I mean, even then, I don't have a lot of team buffing skills. Right now, I don't have luster candy or anything, so...
Yeah, and wishing on your luck is not always a good idea, although sometimes you do get weird.
Oh, yeah.
Like, sometimes you just get weird rolls, and other times you just keep fumbling.
Hey, man,
like,
RNGesus is real.
Yeah, RNGesus is real. Your dice are sentient, and sometimes they just... sometimes dice are like cats.
Yeah, I understand that completely.
Enemies. Don't get careless.
God, the fact there is an enemy at this point in the game that can actually do 100 damage.
Which one, the cops or the musclemen?
Muscle Man.
Well, if you don't try to get that massive damage in, how are these teenagers supposed to beat us with the power of friendship? And be able to withstand the might of these massive biceps, brother.
Brother. I do like that his weakness is ice. It's like, cool down, muscle man.
You try to throw the cold at me and it makes my nuts shrivel up into my body. My craniometric perfection decides to go down a bit in the wake of cold.
Yeah. I also find it kind of funny. The attack is called single shot, and yet he flings his gun up 3 times.
Yosuke pounded an enemy.
I wonder if somebody would end up making a mod making those cop enemies into Paul Blart.
Dude, that'd be great.
I mean, let's face it, modders can be very creative.
They can.
There's a reason why I thought it was really hilarious that people made Yakuza 0 mods where they turned Kiryu into Frank West.
Fair enough. I wonder what the
What?
green bar means. Oh, that's your character player's influence. You were going to ask something?
No. I forgot my question.
Ah.
Like, you ever just have that question that you immediately wanted to talk out, and once you were about to say it, you just, like, just TV static?
Yep, that's happened to me before. Let's see, items. 10 SP. Yeah, let's just use those.
Oh,
real
that's the
quick.
other thing. In 5, you're also able to buy, like, down the line in the game, you're able to buy accessories that regen SP.
Not really accessories, but yeah, there are some items. And even then, the SP restoring items are not that common.
Yeah, hence why you get those SP restoring accessories in 5. You get them from the doctor, hence why she is my waifu. Hence why she is best girl.
Persona 5. I don't know why you were talking about SMT 5. I was like, what do you mean? Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
I know, buddy. You're in your SMT5 craze.
Dude, it is a great game.
It is a good game. I just other games have taken up my attention, but I will get to playing it some more, and then I can also ask you about how, we can both rag on Odin,
Yeah.
and also both of us are very weirded out about Zeus's design. Like,
It's a weird
thing
one,
that I
but it
would-
works.
like the thing is about SMT is that I love how out there they go with some of the designs on them and how atypical they seem. But some of the time, weird doesn't necessarily mean like always good.
Oh, yeah, no.
Or like,
Yuki-chan's hurt. Hurry and heal her. Hang tight and go for it.
like the prime example I think of with like different but right would be Fafnir.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't expect that. Like, you ask a character or monster designer, hey, draw a dragon. And they're like, okay, well, what's this dragon's deal? And they're like, oh, we're basing this off of a Norse dragon called Fafnir. And they're like, okay. Then they draw one of the coolest goddamn monster designs I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you haven't, like, people, if you want to look up one of the coolest monster designs I've ever seen, go look up Shin Megami Tensei Fafnir.
It is pretty good.
It is fucking awesome. Like, when I saw that in Persona 5, my jaw dropped. I was like, I need that on my side. I want him.
Mm-hmm. And then you
It's like-
go up to Fafnir and you find a way to get him to join you.
Yeah. Like, I just, like, I felt like Somehow Persona and SMT captured the vibe of old Pokemon where you discover a cool Pokemon you don't have on your team you never seen before, and you're like, I want you on my team.
Yeah, like that's the thing. I hate to say it, but SMT is just more mature Pokemon. Like overall, it's just Pokemon, but smarter.
Pokemon with mechanics.
Yeah, Pokemon with mechanics. You're not gonna like single run or. Honestly, I doubt you could Nuzlocke a freaking SMT game. That would actually be really fun to watch.
Oh, that'd be fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, how would you even come up with the rules for that? Like,
Demon dies in battle, it's dead. So either has to be
Use it.
immediately sacrificed, have to pass turns with it, or switch it out depending on the game. Some
Well,
of
I'm
the
thinking about-
RNG, though, like I would love to see someone try to do that in 3, because
I'm just thinking of like
sometimes
how,
you're
like,
just getting a random encounter and you get team wiped.
Well, what I'm wondering is like, how would it work in regards to getting demons though? Because you're given huge regions with demons that escalate in level as you keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So like, do you only like where's the boundary on where you can and cannot catch a demon?
Yeah.
Like, because that's the thing with Pokemon, you have definitive routes and or like spots that you can just straight up go like, okay, that's what we do here, or like, oh, there's an encounter we can do in this route, and this is the boundary and where the route starts, and this is where it ends. Where's the boundary where you're gonna be like, okay, this is I got Kate Sith in Kachi in this region, whereas in the next region I could get a demon that's of a higher level.
Yeah.
Where's the boundary there? It'd be interesting, but it'd be very, very difficult. Again, much like trying to Nuzlocke Coliseum.
Yeah, it's like, is it possible? Yes, but also no.
Like, even with the ball glitch, that game's a mess to try and Nuzlocke. Like, the game's already tough enough, and people have already found glitches to do it. Do you know about the ball glitch, Jordan?
Nope, but I did hear there is a way to get like unlimited Master Balls or something in that game. So I think that's what you're talking about.
That is the deal. So what happens with it is, you go into one of the, so you pick your turn to use a Pokeball on, or a Great Ball or whatever, on a Shadow Pokemon, right?
Okay.
And then on the next Pokemon's turn, you go into the items and then you switch the order of the items in that menu, and then it just duplicates the item in turn. It works on all balls in the game.
Yeah, that's a bit broken.
Yeah, and imagine how much money you could have saved by doing that glitch instead of having to buy balls all the time.
Yeah, because there were episodes where I opened up just like, yo, I gotta buy balls.
Yeah. Or God forbid, like, having to grind money and experience. Which, by the way, we had thought about the prospect of playing Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, because I know that game pretty relatively well, and Jordan's not played it, so it's an idea. It's just kind of odd timing right now, because we've got some life stuff, but
Yeah.
we will do it. We do plan on that idea.
Mm-hmm.
It is nice that they give you those SP restoring cup cards, because
Yeah, I mean, that honestly is an easy way to get through the dungeons without having to use all your items every time.
I mean, that's what helps with doing the whole in 1 day run deals.
Pretty much. Like, you're really hoping for those, and have a feeling right now I am not going to be able to beat him. So I'll probably have to
Yeah.
make this a 2 to 3 day run. But
Yeah.
oh god, just watch and I'll show you how manly Kanji Tatsumi can be.
Just watch, and I'll show you how manly Kanji Tatsumi can be.
God, yes.
Like, first, if I can't do Teddy, then I definitely can't impersonate Kanji.
You can at least do his sweet voice, because that was pretty good. Or you're some other character I've heard in the past. Maybe you're Mr. Slave. I don't know. But
Oh God, do you even watch South Park anymore?
I sometimes try to catch up with it.
Yeah, I don't watch it anymore. Like, I thought it was funny and kept up with some episodes, but after a certain point, it's just like, yeah, there's only so much absurdist humor I can take before I just kind of get numb to it.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. But I will say, Trey and the other guy, like, their writing style has evolved. So
Right.
now it's more of like a story from the parents' perspective and the kids are involved rather than the kids when they first started. And I don't know, it's different. Like, it's still
Yeah,
South Park, but it's different.
In the meantime, I just end up laughing at random weird bullshit like the Statue of Liberty video.
Yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Haven't actually.
It's this video where I think it's a family in a helicopter or a plane or something, and they're coming into Long Island, New York, and there's a kid at the window and he's looking out, sees the Statue of Liberty. Wow, I can't speak.
Yeah.
And he mispronounces it, going, "It's the Statue of Liberty." And the dad's like, "Yeah, it is." And then you hear this girl hear this girl off camera say, "I'm about to shit my pants."
Nice.
It's just so random.
Nice.
Like, it's shit like that that makes me and my dad chuckle.
Fair enough.
Or this one video of a video of a priest baptizing a baby, but they played the audio of the Big Lebowski over it, where the priest is dunking the baby and he goes, "I want that money, Lebowski." It's
I've never been able to sit through that whole film. I need to one day.
the only Jeff Bridges movie I've seen is True Grit.
That is fair.
And even then, I only really saw True Grit during that period of time in high school where I was obsessed with Nostalgia Critic.
Ah.
Like, I don't watch him anymore because I stopped finding him funny, but I watched his videos a lot when I was in high school.
Yeah. I still find his humor okay. It's just, I don't know, man. I started with Angry Video Game Nerd. I'm gonna die with Angry Video Game Nerd.
My deal is just, how do I put this? You ever watch someone and then as you keep watching them as they grow as a channel or as they keep doing content, you just think they're trying too hard to be funny?
Oh, yeah. But I think
Like-
that's just kind of natural. Like, over time, one of two things happens. It's either you become very confident in your abilities and you just continue to grow, but things will change, alienating your original audience, but it's for the best. Or you start to overcompensate because you're not as confident that if you change material or adapt as time goes on, you feel like people will start to leave. So you double
Right.
down on what's worked.
Right. It's just the same deal. It's the same reason why I stopped watching content from YouTubers like Matthew Santoro. Like, I don't know what he's even up to anymore, but I used to watch him in high school as well, and I thought, a lot of his older videos were funny because he had bits that just, were funny on their own, but I don't know. Just certain times in the newer videos at the time, I just was like, I'm not laughing at any of this. Why?
Let's get through this. Thanks. Oh, Chie-chan, that was beautiful.
But yeah, in regards to things that I find humorous, I'm very weird with my humor.
Yeah.
One enemy. Fight, fight, fight.
There we go.
But yeah, I feel Nostalgia Critic's probably the worst case scenario in my mind, where it's like trying too hard to be funny. Like the skits in his older videos, or at least the bits that he did, were snappy, and it's like they didn't try to overstay their welcome. That's what a lot of his jokes do in his newer reviews.
Yeah, or they're just references to the jokes that hit.
Or the jokes just last too long. It's like the bits aren't like.
Oh yeah, nah, it's the same thing with anime. Like, sometimes you should just not get a second season.
Chie-chan, that was beautiful.
Right.
Like,
Like I remember when I was at RTX and they were showing a video, and at the time they were advertising their show Genlock, and Michael B. Jordan, who voiced the main character in that show, did a video message to RTX, to the attendants, and he was like, "Yeah, I love anime like Samurai Champloo," and he's playing Dragon Ball Fighters while recording this, so it's just like, okay, all right, that's a good one.
yeah.
But then he goes like, "Yeah, I love Samurai Champloo. It's a shame they never gave us another season." And I'm like, Michael, you sure about that one, buddy?
Yeah, nah, let it end when it ends. It's like, they should have given us a second season of Cowboy Bebop.
No.
Dude, the story's done. Like, no.
No.
Just
There
no.
are just certain stories that end at episode 12 or 24.
Yeah, and you know what? Many times, it's for the best.
Like, imagine trying to come up with a second season to Outlaw Star, for instance.
Yeah.
Or Trigun. It's like it's all wrapped up. Main villain's done. Like what? You
Yeah.
come up with main villain, but now main villain now with cherry flavor.
Pretty much. Oh,
It's
come
like, what
here,
do
you. Yeah, no, there's
Like
just...
if anything, one of the bigger season 2 surprises that I'd say came out, especially recently, was Megalobox.
Yeah.
But they pulled it off well there. To have it be like, okay, so Joe made it to the top in Megalobox Season 1, but in Season 2, he's now just a fallen idol who's just fallen by the wayside and is just seeking to live a normal life and seek some level of redemption with his loved ones. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Unexpected. Very, very, very unexpected.
But
well done.
works. Yeah,
It works.
exactly. Like, if you're gonna do part 2, you can't follow up with more of the same.
Right. Or if you do part 2, I don't know, you gotta pace your story. It just depends on the pacing of the story.
Yeah.
Because if you have this, there's just certain scenarios where you see this built up thing to be taken down, and it's like, it really depends on what those loose threads are that could warrant a second season.
Yeah.
Like, if the loose threads are just really small things in regards to their grander importance in the story, then in that case, just leave it to the fans.
Yeah.
Leave it to the fans and stuff.
Well, I don't know how to feel that Tiger and Bunny just got a second season with Netflix. I haven't seen it yet,
Mm.
but I'm like, one, it's been years since Tiger and Bunny first came out. Two, good show or not, it wrapped up its arc. So what's the point now? What is the goal here, you know?
Yeah. Whereas there are certain season 2s that feel like they should happen for shows that kind of ended in a weird way where it's like partial sequel bait, but also partial as a joke,
Yeah.
like Panty and Stocking.
But I would actually say Penny and Stocking should get the second season because it ends on the cliffhanger. Like,
Right.
it literally teases us with a, hey, there is a continuation to this story. She's chopped up into bits. They're going to have to try and find her. You know, Stocking is an actual demon lover. Like, it at least was doing something that could be interesting. Even if the show itself is parody.
I just think it's a matter of like people wanting more of the thing they like when some just don't know when to let it end.
Yeah. That's why I say, like, man, it's better
Like
to
it-
end too early than too late.
Or just I don't know, like it's the equivalent of people saying they want a Nier Automata 2 or a Hades 2 and it's like no.
Yeah, it's like both of
Are you
those already wrapped up their arc. Like,
It's no. No.
yeah.
Like, listen, I'm all for letting people have their own opinions, but that's just like, really? You see this definitive ending, all loose ends wrapped up, and you think, oh no, they can keep it going, or, like, I get it. You want more of your characters, and you want to experience more of what they're like. But there are really good fan fiction writers out there, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
You want to see a higher expansion on the romance between Thanatos, Zagreus, and Meg?
Guess
That's
what?
what fan
Someone's
fiction-
probably written it.
Yeah.
Like, go
Or-
read a book.
Yeah. Or you wanna speculate about what happened to the Bebop after Redacted in the final episode? Fan fiction exists.
Exactly.
Even if it may not be canon, but it's the best kind of closure you're gonna get.
Yeah, and that's just because you want more of something that really doesn't need more.
Yeah. Kind of like what happened to me in Princess Tutu.
Yeah.
That was the first anime I ever looked up fan fiction for because the ending left me sad.
I can see that.
It always sucks whenever these shadows that jump out of boxes isn't the golden hand.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I can live with that.
Actually, I think if you use a Go-Ho-Em on a floor and you go back to the dungeon like after you do your events in the overworld daytime, you do head back to the floor you last went to.
You see, I thought that only happened on the mid-boss floor and, like, the final boss
I think it
floor.
happens to. No, it does happen to any floor. I remember because I had that same thing happen.
Well,
So if
that's actually a bit of a relief, because, yeah, I was
you
like,
have Go-Ho-Ems.
I probably have some, yeah.
It's always good to stock up on those things, even if you don't think you need them for a dungeon.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you might need to save a game to do something that might take a few hours.
Yeah.
Let's see, what are some other shows that...
Oh, dang it.
It'd be like if the upcoming Chainsaw Man anime did the adaptation perfectly, and it was like spitballing here, 12 episodes. I don't know if it will end up being 12 episodes because Chainsaw Man is actually not that long of a manga, but let's just be generous and say that much. It'd be like if the Chainsaw Man anime wraps up, everything's done, and people are like, "Oh man, I want a Chainsaw Man 2," and it's like, really? Now,
Yeah.
granted, take my opinion about it with a grain of salt. I have not finished the Chainsaw Man manga. I think I just finished volume 3. I'm still relatively early into it, so I don't know where the story necessarily ends, but from what I hear, it ends on a pretty wrapped up emotional end.
Yeah.
So it's just like, why want more? It's like, I get you probably want more for the canon, but you want to
Yeah.
know what happens when you get more of a canon that feels like it's attached to a franchise that should have long been dormant, or at the very least left to others to expand on? Star Wars.
Yeah.
Do you want Chainsaw Man to be Star Wars?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because you're just going to create something that only certain people like, make niches within the community, and it's going to get really drama really fast.
Yeah.
Oh man, I kind of want that one. Oh well. Get a skill card.
Although there are a lot of shows that I would want to at least see adaptations for, just so that they can get some level of popularity.
No, yeah.
Because that was what happened with Vinland Saga for me. Like, I love the manga, and I was like, oh man, if only a Vinland Saga anime could exist, because then I for certain would imagine it would get more popular, because people would say like, oh, it's Vagabond, but with Vikings instead of samurai.
Yep.
And then it got an anime, and it made me very happy.
Yep.
So I'm just wondering about what other adaptations could exist.
Dude, there's so many.
Like, okay, so, random question, Jordan. Have you heard of a manga called Siren?
No, I haven't.
It is a Shonen Jump series from the 2000s. I don't know the exact year, but it's about I don't know if he's middle school or high school, but typical Shonen protag age. And he's sort of like he's kind of like the Dick Van Dyke's character in Mary Poppins for people in his high school. Like, takes care of odd jobs that people ask him to do, so long as they pay him. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
Well, one day he goes to a telephone booth, and some random ass creature teleports him to a completely blasted hellscape. And he's like, what the shit? And he notices some of the typical call signs of Tokyo. And he's like, wait, but this can't be Tokyo in the future, can it? And then he comes back only to notice that he and others that were with him there had acquired psychic powers. So now they're like, okay, we now have to use our powers to figure out how we can prevent this desert Tokyo from happening.
Yeah.
So that's what Siren's about. And it's pretty cool manga that I like, and it didn't get popular enough to ever have an anime, but I imagine it has its fans. Because the power system is pretty interesting with psychic powers and all that.
Amazing, Sensei! Another level for me!
God, imagine if One Piece ends and everybody's like, oh man, I can't wait for One Piece 2.
You literally have like awakened a new anxiety in my heart. Like, that just hurts. Like, ow, what? No. And I understand, like, I've met so many people that love One Piece, but I'm like, isn't there a point where you just have to say, like, this show is no longer accessible to people?
One Piece kind of is the most comic book kind of... It's the closest thing you could ever say to, like, oh, where do I start with One Piece? It's like, you don't say chapter 1 for One Piece. Like,
No.
you can.
There's
but
recap episodes now. You go and you check out a recap episode.
You get out a recap episode, or you start on an arc, because let's face it, the characters, though they do have backstory to them, you can look that up. You know,
Yeah.
everybody starts the new arcs really fresh, you know?
Pretty much. Until they
And-
get like weird freaking abilities and stuff
Right.
that's just not explained, and then you got to figure out what's going on. But
It is the closest that it comes to a DC comic.
yeah,
Like, One Piece is the closest that a shonen manga and anime will ever get to being like a DC comic series.
mm-hmm.
Like any of them, I would say. Like, yeah. So there you go. That's the basic prospect that I bring up. Like, imagine that, you know, One Piece wraps up and it's like, all right, One Piece 2.
Yep. Oh boy.
And I'm not even a One Piece fan, and I just would say, like,
No,
no.
please, please,
Like,
God, no.
it's 1,000 chapters long, over 1,000 chapters long, and nearing, I think has it passed 1,000 episodes in the anime?
Oh, it has.
It has? Okay.
Yeah, I believe
It's
it
like-
actually has.
Like, One Piece has passed over 1,000 episodes at this point. Do you seriously want another 1,000 for a season 2? No. Do you
Yeah.
want One Piece 2 starring Luffy going for the 2-piece? No.
Yeah.
That was cool, Yosuke.
Like, ugh.
2 enemies left.
Just let a story finish, man.
Yeah.
Or just let a story run its course and then be done.
Yeah, it's like, I can understand that we are now attached to these characters after like 20 plus years, and it's fine to love them and have a connection to the story and be like, yeah, I want it to continue. But also, there's just a certain point where it's like, let these characters rest. Let
Yeah.
it end. Like, there's a certain point where you're just done with something in life.
Chichan, this isn't good.
Now, in regards to, like, rebooting or readapting, that's a different matter.
Yeah.
Like, say a series had to do its manga deviation and needed the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood treatment.
Yeah.
That's all well and good.
Yeah, isn't
Granted,
that
you're
what they're
gonna have-
doing now with Hunter x Hunter, pretty much?
Well, that's what they did with Hunter x Hunter, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the 1990s... Actually, I don't know much about the 1999 series. I know it did adapt fairly faithfully, albeit with some pacing issues. But that's just because they were going a little too faithfully and kind of didn't omit bits that were kind of fillery.
Yeah.
Or not fillery, but just made the pace a little too long.
Pretty much.
Hunter x Hunter 1999. How many episodes was it? It was...
I smell 2 enemies. Beat them up. That's some thick skin. Roar! Go get 'em.
Okay, it lasted up to Greed Island, so
That was
the
cool, Yosuke.
2011 anime lasted longer for certain. So the last episode came out in 2004. But yeah, I guess maybe the 1999 series caught up to the manga and they were like, okay, so we gotta end it here because Togashi's still making the manga. What's a
Yeah.
good place to end it? Oh, Greed Island. That's a good spot. Okay. But either way, yeah, doing a readaptation, like a reboot style thing, that's always good.
Oh yeah.
And granted, you're gonna get old curmudgeons like me that are like, but I still like the 2003 Full Metal Alchemist, but we just get shut down and told to shut up.
Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, I think the 2003 opening probably better than Brotherhood. But I will
there's just
say I
certain-
really like Brotherhood.
I like it too. I mean, that's the thing. I'm not saying I hate Brotherhood. I'm just saying that parts of the 2003 anime I'd say I prefer more. And if anything, I'd say in some ways it adapts the series.
Better than the actual author's intentions.
No, because the author gave her consent towards a lot of the ending, towards the ending and the intentions and everything.
Yeah. But like
I just say that there are bits I prefer more than Brotherhood that make me feel more emotionally resonated with 2003 compared to Brotherhood.
fair enough.
Like, God, I remember when I volunteered at a con, and there was this guy that was a part of an anime discussion podcast, and I told him that I preferred 2003 over Brotherhood, and he was like, "Oh, really? You mind sitting down and let me interview you on that opinion?"
This
Not
little
in any-
bear's getting too scared to go on. Love it.
Sensei, this bear is getting a little too scared to go on.
Toodaloo.
But yeah, basically what I'm saying is I told him my opinion. He's like, "No, I actually see your point of view on this." Because I'll make my opinion known on one thing about it, 2003. I'll point to one of my reasons why I prefer 2003. I think the homunculi were done better in 2003 compared to Brotherhood.
Fair. Okay.
Both as characters and as well as their power structure, I guess.
They actually
like,
felt
I-
like more of a threat.
They felt like more of a threat, and also it felt like there was a logic on how to beat them instead of just pummel them a bunch until they run out of their healing juice.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's
Like
like
each one had their own individual weakness.
yeah, each one had their weakness, which was the remains of the person they once were.
Yeah.
Is it kind of odd? Yes, but at least it's a logic to how you would kill an immortal in this series, as opposed to, oh, they're not really fully immortal. You just beat them until they can't regenerate anymore. It's like,
Yeah, it's like they're essentially immortal. But if you're stronger than them, that kind of comes into question. But also they have powers, so overpowering them
have-
is never easy.
oh, they have powers like extreme strength or a shield made of carbon that's impenetrable, a pair of fingers that can slice through most material, shape-shifting, and they can regenerate from pretty much any injury. It's like, okay, there you go. How do you beat something like that? 2003 solution. Oh, you like presenting them with their original remains causes them to become sickly and lose their regenerative properties, which makes them mortal. It's like, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
That's one I can follow. And then Brotherhood, it's like, oh no, they're not really fully immortal. You just punch them a bunch.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it makes sense if you're going for a more shonen action-y standpoint, but I don't know. I just like how 2003 handled them more.
Yeah. I think that's a fair opinion, man.
And also, 2003 and some other opinions that I've heard have made me realize that there is such a thing as good filler.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Like, so what I mean by this, let me drink some water before I make my point on this.
All right.
Okay. So, we all know filler is universally considered awful, considering many people are a fan of the big shonens that have multiple episodes, like have hundreds of episodes, but they get filler arcs because they have to wait for the manga to pace out, right?
Yeah.
People are not a fan of that, and I can understand why. You want to get back to your main story. But there are such things as filler episodes that are not there's good filler. And a YouTuber that brought this point up to me was by the name of Bennett the Sage. Do you know who
Yes,
who
I've
he is,
heard the
Jordan?
name.
He's one of my favorite YouTubers. He looks at a lot of retro anime, and he's very insightful. I love his content. He's really cool. He did an episode where he looked at, I think it was Tenchi, like the Tenchi Muyo OVA series,
Okay.
for like a Toonami event kind of weekend. Or not weekend, but event episode. And he talked about an episode where Tenchi was remembering his dead mother and, you know, essentially reaffirmed his beliefs. And the episode was essentially teaching us about Tenchi as a character, even though it didn't advance any kind of major story. In the meantime, he also talked about a different filler episode where the spaceship that was also a cat turned into like a bipedal cat person, and it's just like, up wacky antics ensue, and we don't learn shit for dick about anybody.
Yeah.
That's the bad filler. The
Yeah.
good filler is when, even though the plot's not advancing, you
You're
at least gain some
still
more insight
getting
into the characters.
something with the characters you're here to see.
Yes. Like, and the filler episode that I point to in regards to good filler, if we're talking about 2003 Fullmetal Alchemist, is the one where Edward and Alphonse are like, they're on their way to get their bodies repaired after their encounter with Scar.
Yeah.
And Alphonse gets mistaken for somebody else's luggage and dumped to a different station, and Ed's like, we gotta go back to get him. So they do. But in the encounter, in the wake of trying to do so, Ed encounters this old war veteran who lost his leg, and he begins talking with him, saying like, hey, I know this automail mechanic who's really good at her job. And and the war veteran says, I don't want it, because this is part of me now. This is who I am. If I erase this, and I erase this reminder of what I've done and who I am as a person, then what will even be left of me? And he points that question back to Ed, and it's like, oh wow, yeah, because we're following this guy because he wants to get his body back and sort of erase his sin. But
Yeah.
it's like, who will he be after that? Because he still has to live with the consequences of being in the military to do all of this. It's like, what's he gonna do? Is he just gonna be like, all right, military people, I know I joined up with your alchemy stuff, but I just did this to get my arm and leg and my brother's body back. I'm done. Bye. No, there's consequences to him.
Yeah.
So having that question be turned back on him was interesting. And then, of course, you have bad filler in FMA 2003 as well, with the 4th episode of the anime. There is no redeeming that episode. It is the worst episode in any Fullmetal Alchemist thing ever. Because Ed does kill a man in that episode and doesn't flinch, whereas later in the series he kills Greed and has, you know, what his reaction would be to killing somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I realize that's a hot take about the idea of good filler and bad filler, but it is a discussion that I think should be brought up, if whether or not filler can be considered good episodes of a show.
Yeah, I think it can. I agree with you on that. I don't watch too much shows for the most part, so I don't have.
Yeah, I haven't been on the anime watching cycle for a good minute.
Yeah, I'm
because
watching some, but
I got rid of my my Verve subscription because I stopped finding $10 a month worth it for the channels that they had.
yeah.
And if I'm being frank, even though Crunchyroll has made some dumb decisions in the past, and though they definitely have problems to work out as a company, $8 a month for both theirs and Funimation's libraries now, that's a pretty attractive deal.
Yeah.
That is a pretty attractive deal. But basically what I'm saying is I haven't really been watching anime much recently. These are just thoughts that have ruminated over my head in regards to my opinion on shows that do have filler arcs
I can
or
understand
filler interludes. I just think, dictating all filler is bad, though understandable, I feel is a tad unfair.
Yeah.
But for all I know, maybe just making that kind of opinion be known will end up having people flagging the comments, being like, "How dare no, I swear to you, that one filler arc in Naruto where Rock Lee fought a boxing kangaroo is the worst fucking thing to ever be put to animation." And it's like, I agree with that about that standpoint, because we didn't learn shit about Rock Lee other than the fact that he fought a fucking kangaroo.
I mean, isn't that all we ever wanted to know?
That is true. Australian dub of Naruto. Guys, my name's fucking Rock Lee, and here I am fighting this kangaroo with my Tai Jitsu techniques.
It's like, all right, well, he is literally the most Australian character now.
Have you heard the German opening for Naruto?
No, I have not, but I am interested to listen to it. This would probably be pretty cool.
It is One Piece 4Kids rap levels of hilarious.
Oh boy.
Like, it's so I'm gonna link it to you later.
Please do. I will appreciate it.
And the weird thing is, though it's the German opening for it, the lyrics are in English, which I imagine a lot of people in Europe have English as a second language. I'm just saying it's funny. I just think it's odd that a German one for kids would be in English.
Yeah. It's like, this is in your home country. You can speak your language. No one will judge you.
Don't give up, Yosuke! One enemy! Fight! Fight! Fight!
All right, you're getting kind of drained in your resources. Probably
Yeah, I
best
might
to use a
need
Go-Ho-M.
I'm going to see if I can find the stairs here real quick. I'll just heal up real fast.
Yeah,
Because I
get to
forgot
the
I
next
have
floor,
some,
then use a Go-Ho-M.
Let's see, where is it? There it is. Tiny soul tomato.
Oh, because also, let's face it, in regards to filler episodes, sometimes a lot of the canon stuff that does appear in a lot of the things that would appear in the main story sometimes feel like it slows the pace down to a crawl, or sometimes it's just I don't know. I'm not a series runner, but me thinks that maybe a discussion should be done about good and bad filler when it comes to characters and how you learn more about them.
Yeah.
Like, I could understand maybe I could understand certain filler arcs in shonen series being really just the equivalent of a kid dragging their heels at a zoo, but if you at least learn more about the characters you like, then is it really all that bad?
Mm-hmm.
Also, the other funny thing about that filler episode in 2003 I talked about, Alphonse gets shown to kind of be a little mischievous guy. Just being a little mischievous person. Because he then transmutes himself into fuse with someone's bike, and he starts to be like, I am the cursed armor, and you will fear me, and causes a delinquent to shit himself and run.
I remember that.
Like, it's just like, okay, yeah, we learn about Ed being completely unsure about whether or not it's the right thing to want to erase his wrongdoings, but we also see Al as kind of a goofy guy.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so if I remember, I think the mid boss is on floor 8, and I do have enough energy to get there, so I want to get there real quick.
Okay.
Like, I know I worry you with how close to the line I often run games, but I have a feeling I can do it.
Well, it's not so much close to run to the line. It's the matter of this file might be too big for you to upload, buddy.
You are right. I might have to cut this down.
Yeah,
I
because
got you. Yeah, I don't
So-
even know how long we've been playing.
so the background info for people, we use Google Drive to share files since we don't live in the same space,
Yeah.
and our Google Drive can only contain so much data for Jordan to send to me, for me to then upload, since I'm the one that's got our JFK ending line.
Yeah. And
Dude,
that's why
Jesus.
sometimes you'll see videos without the line, because even though I have it, my editing program is really shit. So I
Whereas
just
I have DaVinci
upload the
Resolve, so
files
it's just
directly.
whereas I have DaVinci Resolve, which is just drag over to timeline, drag over to timeline, boom, it's edited in.
Yeah, I have Sony Vegas. Ugh.
So
So
basically, we have to resort to some cases of Jordan uploading the video. I have to download it, and then I have to fix it all up because file sizes.
yeah, so this
That's
may
why
not
I've been
upload.
suggesting the Go Ho-Em so that we can
okay.
at least stop.
Well,
That's what I've been pushing towards.
I
But if
see,
you want to
I
go to the
see.
mid boss, we can do that.
yeah, and this may be a video without the ending quip, if that's the case, but
I mean, I think I could download it straight off of YouTube.
you
and then
can.
edit it.
And so when I put it up, I usually put it up private so we can do that.
Right.
But it is a little harder to do it through YouTube for some reason. So
Well, I mean, it's just download the video, put it in DaVinci, and then
yeah,
just do the thing I just said.
yeah,
So it shouldn't be that bad.
yeah, it really shouldn't.
Wow, is Yosuke aiming for some overkill? You hit its weakness. Good answer. Ready or not, here we come.
Yeah, the only downside to like the Persona games too right now is since you can only use one Persona at a time, and I just keep Izanagi on me. Yeah,
What?
none of my other. Dang it! I keep wanting to hit the start button instead of the select button for the map.
Okay, I think this is actually mid boss, possibly,
Might be.
or this might be a puzzle room.
Could be. But essentially Izanagi's getting all the level ups, but none of the other personas I've fused are getting anything, so if I need to use them for some reason, not gonna be great.
Don't enter.
What, oh. Yeah, this is the mid boss.
You were one floor off, sweetie. We're about to go into this mid boss. I
Let's
hope you're ready.
let's go, baby. Welcome to Man's World.
This place is heating up from the sudden entry of a fine young man. To celebrate this encounter, I prepared a special stage tonight. A single match with no limit. Who will be left standing in the end? Now pour out your hot blood and guts.
Oh, don't lose, Sensei.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I
Come
remember.
on, Billy Bob. Show them what that handlebar mustache is capable of.
Oh God, I'm about to get my
Billy Bob
ass handed to me.
Billy Bob gonna creep you down.
Uh-huh. Let's see. You're usually weak to ice, so I'm gonna lean into that. And
It's a
I
shame that
just
you don't have
use-
spyglasses in this game to tell you the weaknesses.
yeah,
That's the biggest. That's the thing about Persona that I know for certain I'm gonna have a hard time adjusting to if I do another playthrough of Royal. Is that I know there's a method to finding enemy weaknesses super quickly, But I'm so used to just going in SMT and being like, okay, new enemy, hit the spyglass since I can carry 50 of the fucking things. There's your weaknesses. Good. Now I know your weaknesses for the rest of the game. So convenient.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Ah, Billy Bob feeling the fire on his stubble.
Let's see, what's rebellion? We're gonna need that though. Deals life physical damage off 1 to 3 times. Assault.
Rebellion on Chie, and then you can do the rampage.
Well, remember, Chie's wearing equipment that actually lowers her hit rate.
Well, if it's a critical hit, wouldn't it not miss then?
Crit is determined after it determines if you hit or not.
Oh.
So it's like 2 dice rolls. You have the dice roll to hit, and then you actually have your damage roll. And that damage, if you roll a 20, is going to be a crit.
Oh, it's oh my god! It is just like Pathfinder then.
Yeah.
You roll a hit, and if you get a critical, you then roll to see if you confirm the crit.
Yes. So,
Oh my god! It is just like Pathfinder.
see if I can silence him real quick, because that'll help. Dang it.
Oh, that's mean. That's mean.
Problem is, I don't think Raccoonda stacks.
I know it stacks in terms of turns, but not actual, like, decreasing the stat itself.
Yeah, so...
Like, that's the thing with Persona, is that it's not like Dragon Quest, where it's like, oh, you use the defense debuff twice, then it's like, it's not, you know, decrease the stat more, it's increase the timer of the debuff more.
Yeah. And everyone knows in this game, buffs and debuffs are really important.
They really are. They really are. They are not just press 8. Ow!
Billy Bob done clotheslined that man.
Literally.
Did I ever tell you that I got clotheslined playing Red Rover once as a kid?
You have, and that's still so, like, in a way, sweet.
Really? Me blacking out from being clotheslined playing Red Rover is sweet?
I mean, for me, it's like, children.
The playground antics of clotheslining each other as children.
Yeah.
The playground antics of spit-shining fresh asphalt burn. Or of swinging yourself incredibly high to launch yourself maybe 8 feet in the air and then shattering your ankle.
Yep.
Was that a thing you ever did on the swings?
Yeah.
Just, like, go back and forth and just see how high you're able to launch yourself off of the swing before landing in the sand?
Pretty much.
Oh, God. I think I might have used physical reflect items on this guy.
That would make sense. I don't think I have any.
Check.
Let's see. Diamond Shield. I'm going to use that at least.
Yeah, you use that at least. Because Yosuke died in 1 hit.
Well, that's actually because he charged up like 4 moves and then literally used a move called One Shot.
He died in 1 hit, though.
Yeah.
Any increase to defense is better than no increase to defense. Number
Oh,
go up is good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. I'm not saying it's not.
I couldn't do it.
Alright. So, Rebellion.
Does Skullcracker lower defense?
No, I don't have attacks that also lower defense yet.
Okay. Just
Okay,
checking.
so his hit rate's up. That might go Rampage.
I mean, there's a chance one of those will hit for crits.
Oh, he
Oh.
auto counters.
I forgot he had counter.
Yeah, so you can't use physical. Wait, I just used cleave, so yeah, you can use physical. How? I'm going to
Oh,
use cleave again.
it's because counter has a percentile chance.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just guilty geared countered you. I Totsugeki this, motherfucker.
Tatsukiki!
I mean, at least the defense lower is doing good for the magic stuff.
Oh, yeah. And again, certain characters have better magic skill versus physical skills, so.
Yeah.
And I probably would be better to up attack, but.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I think
XP.
now is a good time for you to leave the
Oh,
dungeon.
yeah. As soon as we get this cutscene done, I'm probably going to just leave. There we go. Going down helps and aid, huh?
I have no idea how that SOS thing
I
works.
don't know either, so I'm just going to hit it and, like, you got help, buddy. I hope that helps.
It's like the
don't-
Devil May Cry 5 multiplayer thing. It's like you can see the other player doing combos in the very far distance, or at the very least you're aware that other players are playing levels simultaneous to others, and it's like, why even have it?
Yeah.
Imagine how terrifying it must be to have those things run at you. Just
Honestly,
the overworld shadows.
yeah, those things pretty fast.
Like that's the thing that I think goes down in Persona 3 is like the midnight hour happens or the dark hour. Is it called the dark hour? The point
yeah,
is
I
the,
think
the
so.
phase the phase time switch thing happens in Persona 3, and people that aren't affected by it just see these blobs of shadows coming at you, and it's like, yeah, that's yeah.
Three enemies. Let's get through this.
I'm gonna check actually real fast what the Persona, when the Persona 20th anniversary is.
Go ahead, because, like, I know they just leaked there's 2 new Persona 5 things coming out.
Amazing, Sensei. Keep it up.
Oh, it was last September,
Okay.
but it fell flat apparently,
Huh.
because it was it was Persona 4 Arena Ultimax on PC and all the modern platforms. Which, have you played that game?
I haven't, but I'm sure it's probably pretty good.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it was last year, so yeah. Okay, so in this September, the Persona series celebrates its 25th anniversary. We want to thank everyone who supported the series throughout all the year-long campaign from September 2021 to fall 2022 as the Persona 25th anniversary year. Okay, so basically there could be some more announcements coming through this year up to the fall. So that's good to know. I just want to keep my eye out in case they announce anything interesting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's always some interesting stuff coming out about Persona.
Like I'm seeing a pair of jogger pants with Jack Frost and Black Frost pattern print on it. And I see a badass Nahobino poster.
Oh, yeah.
I think I remember seeing a really kick-ass jacket that I wanted, that I was just like, I need now, me want, yes, me, need now, yes, me. Like I was the equivalent of the monkey with the longest recorded sentence of me give orange, me eat orange, give me you.
Yeah.
There's a long sleeve T-shirt that just has a small logo of the turn icon from SMT3.
All right.
There was one shirt.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
Sharing that with you.
Okay.
I think it was.
Ah.
Was it a shirt or a jacket? I don't remember. The point is, there's some cool merch on here that I'm looking forward to, or that I was just like me want. Like I was the equivalent of a kid in a store that. I was the equivalent of a kid that doesn't exactly know how to articulate what he wants, so he just goes. Jack Frost coffee mug?
Hee ho. Oh, if only I was one level higher. Look what I could make.
A limited item.
Oh man, if I only had one more level.
Oh, Matador. Yeah.
Dude, I'm all about that, man. You know me. Ooh.
Matador's pretty nice. He's a nice design.
Oh yeah, I love Matador. I just want to see what I get if I combine Andra. Honestly, I like the shading on Andra here. It's pretty good. Ukobach. Alright.
He reminds me of Lips from Dragon Quest.
A little bit, yeah. Alright, that's... Jack Frost would give me a Phoenix. Huh. Okay, well at least I got some
Oh,
space
that's
for
funny.
next time.
Oh my god. So the Atlas store has a hoodie of SMT5 where it's the Meemaw with like a big list of the Meemaw heads on the back, and on the front is a Meemaw head X'd out.
I could get into that. I like the Meemaws. Or, in your case, the Meemaws.
I'm sorry, but I will call them the Meemaws. I will not hear it otherwise.
The Meemaws.
They're one little misspoke, and I just gave him a cute nickname.
There we go. Always spend a little extra time with Nanako.
Yes.
Never not spend extra time with Nanako.
Yes. Jeez, girl, I just not sure if I want to go to practice yet.
Well, I mean, she is watching her dad die, and it seems he was abusive to her and her mother, so...
I mean, still, it's not his fault.
Yeah. Well, it
Like,
is his fault for abusing her mother, but, you know.
No, I mean, I'm saying it's not the protagonist's fault.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not his fault. Don't need to bite his head off. Fun thing, her Kabuto wearing brother appears in Persona 3, I believe.
Ah, neat.
So yeah, you even visit the school of Persona 3 in this game.
It's either their attendance logs or their contracts. Probably attendance logs. This is true. One of those things that kind of disproves maybe some of the stories of the Bible times because, you know, Egypt, they were really good with their records.
Yeah.
All right.
right.
So we'll save right here.
And then that's probably where we'll leave it off.
Yeah, now we'll
'Cause
call
we have been going for a bit
Let's
talking
see.
about
I
anime
want to see.
and
Nah, I don't think you'll be able to get this one.
yeah,
Wow.
best upload it and then I'll take care of it
Yeah, I
by
think
downloading it
so.
off of YouTube.
Yeah. All right, guys. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Open Couch Gaming for more video game antics.